After you turn the machine on, you're going to place the machine in rinse. Select rinse from the main screen. Both the acid and bicarb connectors need to be in the front of the machine to see the select screen. The rinse process takes 15 minutes. After that completes, the machine is ready for setup. If you don't already have a buy bag on the machine, you can add one now and it will begin priming. Your conductivity won't come up to the proper levels of 13.5 to 14.5 until the bicarb and acid are all plugged in and the water is on. For priming, the water needs to be on. So the first thing you're going to do is hang your saline, and you're going to make sure there's no defects with the saline, that the bag is intact, and that the expiration is good. And go ahead and take your dialyzer out and place your caps on the side ports. And then the next thing you're going to do is open up your tubing. And depending on how you wish to do this, you can clamp all the small clamps at this point if you wish. Or you can do it as you work through the process of priming. So if you haven't already, go ahead and close your saline line clamp and go ahead and spike your bag. And you're going to take the thick section of the red tubing or the arterial tubing and just put the start of the tubing, starting on the left-hand side, just in the beginning of the pump segment, just to hold your tubing up and off the floor. Next, you're going to place the patient end into the holders in the saline bucket for priming. Attach your saline line to the connector and clamp the dialyzer end of the arterial tubing. Now open up your saline and allow the saline to push all of the air out. And once it reaches the end of the patient line with no bubbles left, then go ahead and clamp. Now you're going to unclamp the hemostat and finish running saline through the remainder of the line. Then once that completes, go ahead and reclamp. Now this end can be connected to the bottom of the dialyzer. Make sure you get it in there snug so that it doesn't leak. And now finish running the pump segment into the pump. And you're going to use the pump motor itself to thread that through. Then close the door. And you can attach the arterial transducer. Unclamp the bottom of your dialyzer line. And now you're going to attach your venous tubing. And place your venous trap into the holder. And shut the door. And place your patient line, your venous patient line, into the saline bucket. Now you need to turn the pump speed down to 100. And select your prime button on the machine. The machine will run through a prescribed volume that is set by Biomed. So once that completes, the pump will stop. And now you're ready to get the machine set for test. So in order to test the machine, you're going to finish filling your venous trap. You want to make sure all of the air is out of it. And then you're going to thread your venous line clamp into the machine. then the lines have to be married together. So take one of the ends, the protective ends off and throw it away. Open the other end and firmly put the two pieces together and open your clamps so that saline can freely circulate. Now thread the venous clamp. And now we're ready to go into the machine and place the machine into test. Juju is pointing out that if the machine is not green, the bar across the top, like if the conductivity isn't in normal range, the machine will not go into test. So he's going to select tests and options, and he's going to select both tests and then confirm. There are two rows on that screen. One row says OK. The second row says error. So we need to have an error-free test. So we had all selected OK. Now we're ready to get our machine recirculating. So we're going to connect the venous transducer and unclamp it. And now we need to prime the dialyzer side of the tubing. The red Hansen goes on the red end of the dialyzer, and the blue Hansen goes on the blue end of the dialyzer. So blue to blue and red to red. And the blue end of the Hansen is the end that actually brings in fresh dialysate. So you'll see him turn this dialyzer in just a second to make sure that we force all of the air out of the dialyzer. And once it's full, he's just going to flip it back over the way it was and put it back in the holder. Now he's going to select prime recirculation and then enter or confirm. And that will set a preset volume of 200 milliliters and a UF time of 10 minutes. And then we turn the pump speed up so the pump can be set 300 to 400 milliliters per minute. And that will just recirculate saline through the machine. It will draw saline across the dialyzer. It helps make sure that any residual sterilant or air that we have inside of that dialyzer gets rinsed out.